Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Yeah. This is Alex speaking.
This is Bosh.
Yeah. And this is episode, what, 63?
Should be, yeah.
Yeah, something like that. And in this episode, we're going to be talking about, of course, episode 6, concluding our original trilogy of the Star Wars series, Return of the Jedi.
Ooh.
And as you can tell, Boshka is very excited to be able to finish this series.
I'd say, yeah.
I don't know what you were expecting for episode 6. I thought, in my opinion, I was gonna assume that this is about the same level as episode 5 in a way. But I think
I don't know. I actually might like this one better because you're feeling more pressure from the enemy. Like the Empire felt strong.
Yeah.
There are a lot of moments where the suspense was really up in the, high up in the roof. Yeah, the Empire feels more threatening because there are a lot more, for example, usually, even episode 4 and 5, there are several time when there's the main team has to do, the protagonist has to do certain mission.
Yeah.
And most of the time they just do it super easily, right?
Yeah.
This time it felt like that, but nope, not really. There's a reverse card kind of thing. It's actually a trap.
I see. Yeah, I agree. I think it's because the scale is a little bit more bigger too. Like you see more
that
enemies.
Too, yeah.
Yeah.
There's more battle in the space. There's more spacecraft, and there's more battle. There's more cinematic. There's more action in the whole thing.
Yeah, there's definitely more action in this one than the previous ones. What I didn't like though is that in the previous Star Wars we were going to different planets, right? At least 3 or 4 or something like that.
Yeah.
In this one, it's only kept to 2 actually.
Well,
Tatooine.
Yeah, it was the one Tatooine.
Yeah, and then the forest planet Endor, but we didn't get to see any other planets aside from when they celebrated, which I didn't really care for. Because you don't get to visit those planets, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I honestly don't mind it at all. Because for me, I was more interested in, fleshing out the whatever detail and whatever. I think with the Wookiees, I believe. Yeah. Those are the Wookiees, right?
No, the little bears. The little bears? Those are Ewoks.
Yeah. Oh, was it the Ewok?
Yeah.
All right. I can't tell them apart. I can't remember anything too, so.
Those are your people, Bosh. The Ewoks are your people.
So the Ewoks, I think it's better than showing some planets because it shows their tendency. They're being territorial. They're being very wary, and worshipping metal robot thing. They're feasting on eating anything, making traps and everything. In that planet itself, and they show how they fight within that planet too, right?
Yeah.
With ambush, guerrilla warfare. Rocks, arrow, even trebuchet, catapult.
Yeah.
There's also those log swing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was far more interesting than showing some random planets.
In a way, yes, because we're shown indigenous life. We actually get to stay and kind of explore the culture a little bit more than versus the previous movies. But I would prefer to visit other planets because that's what Star Wars is about, right? It's just going to different planets because it's a vast solar system, vast system.
I don't know. For me, I don't know. I think that's up to preference, really. Because for me, exploring other planets or whatnot is cool. But honestly, instead of going to 5 different planets where it only shows the landscape, let's just say an ice snow, snow place, snow planet, or some swamp planet or whatever. That has nothing in it.
Yeah.
I'd rather have 1 or 2 planet that shows the life in it. You know what I mean?
I mean, fair.
Yeah. Because in episode 5 was it?
Yeah.
They show how many planet? 4 planet? 5 planet?
Swamp, ice.
Swamp, ice.
And
desert.
Desert? Did they show
desert? No.
I don't think so. And then the space.
The cloud.
Yeah, Cloud City. Yeah. And then Death Star.
Death Star, and they also showed the asteroid belt, right?
Yes. So 5 different locations essentially.
Yeah. But how much actual life in it? You know what I mean? There's no one. There's barely anything, right? There's only that one Yeti thing.
Yeah, Yeti thing.
In this one, there's only Yoda, right?
That's
And whatever it is under the water.
Yeah.
That we never even see what it is.
Yeah.
And in Cloud, there's the people. That's it.
Yeah.
That's just a city. And Death Star is an enemy base.
Yeah. Of course, it's swarming with troopers.
And in the asteroid now we see this being.
Yeah, that
like
weird alien thing.
It's very small amount of stuff. You know what I mean? But in this one, there's the Wookiees.
Ewoks.
Huh? Ewok. God damn it.
I know you really love the. I know you love the Wookiees, but you know.
I can't tell which one is which. They all look like a furry something. To me, it doesn't really matter. I'm gonna get shot for this, aren't I?
No. Well, I don't know what people think about the Ewoks. I think it's like mixed. I think some people like them, some people hate them. But for me,
I like how they were portrayed. Like not necessarily their design or whatever. I don't care about that in particular. Yeah. I like how they showed that they're the traits, the territorial, the fact that they're very smart.
Yeah.
They know how to fight within their field and use their physique to like either camouflage within the forest or like attack in groups. Like it's very smart.
Yeah.
This is what makes me go like, whoever wrote this is a fucking genius.
Well, the thing is,
because they're not a main character. They're nothing. They're just part of the planet that just happened to be, and they have so much detail on it. It's mind blowing.
It's good. Yeah, I think one of the complaints that people had when the Ewoks were there was because it's like there's no way a bunch of bears could take down trained soldiers, right?
Well, the thing is like, they're trained soldiers and they're wearing like this probably really good armor too, right?
Yeah.
The fact that bone and arrow would like hurt them, get hit by a stone not that very far, or like getting punched and kicked by like stomped by this fluffy little thing was enough to like disable them. Like I think that's
I agree.
Too much. I understand that part, but
there's inconsistency, I think, in the Star Wars series.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like, it's the power level thing, right? Because, like, we don't know. Maybe this little bear could like actually throw a rock at the speed of bullet. We don't know that, right? Or like could punch really hard, like what Chewbacca does. We don't know that.
Right. So,
but yeah.
In my thing about this is like the stormtroopers are wearing like high grade armor, right? They're able to supposedly deflect bullets, or laser beams. But then the thing is, when the rebels shoot them, they go shoo, and they die so easily. And then in the lore,
so that's a thing. Reflex or resistance. You know what I mean?
Or deflect or whatever. Anyways, there's supposed
to
be
it's like only resistance. That means it only dampened the damage,
But then they're supposed to be able to survive it instead of getting one-shotted, right?
Maybe they're just like knock unconscious. You don't know.
No, I'm pretty sure they're dead.
I don't know.
Because in the lore,
never confirmation.
In the lore, the rebels are using illegal weapons, like higher
that makes sense.
Weapons. Yeah.
Well, that would explain it, now wouldn't it?
Yeah, but you don't know that because from watching the movies, would you have known what's going on? Not really.
But well, that's the thing. Like, if I think hard enough, that I would probably could come up with that.
I suppose. Now, going back to the Ewoks, I think that using blunt objects makes sense. Like them getting
makes sense.
They're like the stormtroopers getting their heads bashed in with rocks or whatever. Armors don't really defend against blunt objects.
Like heavy armor. If you hit them with a hammer, it'll hurt them more than hitting them with a sword, right?
Yes,
I
exactly.
get it.
Yeah, so that makes sense to me. However, shooting them with an arrow
with bone arrow, like a stone arrow. That's a bit of a stretch.
Yeah, like if laser beams shouldn't be able to do anything to stormtroopers, bone arrows should be like flies essentially. Like I don't know.
I know that. See, for that as a what you call it, as a nitpick or like a complaint.
Yeah,
I agree. I'm okay with that. But for me, I'm more interested in how the Ewok are portrayed, at least shown that they're part of the planet, kind of thing.
Yeah.
That intrigued me more. That just
Yeah, I mean, like that's part of the world building, right?
The world building, yeah. And that's, I told you again and again, it's the part that I just enjoy. It shows how big the scope of the story that was prepared for. You know what I mean?
But did it feel like it took away from the movie? Like we spent a little bit too much time on the Ewoks and not enough time on other characters.
Ooh.
Was
What
that?
are there to flesh out?
I don't know
The
more.
characters already established by
Yes, right. But
the last two episodes.
we could have seen more interactions with like Luke and Han because they only had one or two scenes together in the entire movie.
Well, but the last episode, it was their like full on, bromance or like flying around, right?
Yeah, and then this one they're just
That,
like, "Hey, I saved you, Han. Okay, peace out," and they never interact again.
and that's fine, I think. They already did their bit in the last episode.
I guess.
Like having it over and over again, it might be, might as well use it on something else. You know what I mean?
I mean, they could have Lando interact with Han more instead of just them going, "Hey,
But
take
they
care
did
of
already
Falcon."
last episode too.
Was it though? I mean, we
Yeah.
know Lando betrayed them, and then
Yeah.
all of a sudden he redeemed himself, and he's a commander for the rebels.
Well, but that's the thing. Like even in the beginning, Hans said himself, "I don't trust him. He's my friend, but I don't trust him."
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, I think it's within them, like their relationship, that they know that they will betray one another given the circumstances, but they will come back to help them ish, like how Lando saved him from Jabba too, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. For me, I think they're fine. I want to say flesh out, give Leia more action, but Leia gets some action here and there, and even in this one, she killed Jabba too, right?
Yeah,
With her own bare hand, by the way.
Well, yeah, she killed Jabba, and she managed to take out some stormtroopers. She interacted with the Ewoks. She was the one that convinced them to, or part of the reason why they.
She's kind of like probably one of the more. If there's anything that I wanted, it's probably more showing Luke's gaining power. That's what I wanted.
Yeah, exactly. That. See, because I don't know what's the times. See, they never explained the time skip or the
jump. Yeah,
the jump between 4, 5, and 5 and 6.
But that's the thing. I don't know if it's on purpose, but Luke looks older.
Yeah, well, because each movie took 3 years to make.
Oh.
Yeah, right. So it started in 77, then the second one came out in 80, and this one is 83.
83.
Yeah. So a total of 6 years have passed for all these characters, right? So surprisingly, Leia and Luke, they started very young when they did the series. So Luke looking older and Leia looking kind of the same-ish. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
And then Han is, he's like pretty much in the full adult at this point.
Yeah.
Or I call them by the character's name, but I should use the actor's name, like Mark Hamill, Harrison.
I'll probably remember
Carrie Fisher.
Remember them as the character more than the actors.
Oh yeah, of course. That's their iconic roles.
Iconic.
Yeah, like aside from Luke, Mark Hamill has only done a handful of roles, but he's best known for the Joker voice. He's the voice actor for Joker.
Yeah.
And Harrison Ford is already a super mega star at that point. And Carrie Fisher, I don't know what else she's done. I think she's done other small movie roles and other stuff like that too.
That time, eh?
Yeah, I'm not sure what she's done since. I know she had a drug problem in her later years. Yeah, which is unfortunate. Which has kind of led her to her untimely death in the a few years ago. Yeah, rest in peace, Carrie Fisher. But the pressure, like the because of the stardom that they had experienced so early in their careers, that the pressure got to her, I suppose, which is why she turned to a life of drugs. Yeah,
I don't know, so I'm not gonna.
Okay. Anyways, going back to the movie. I also would have liked to see more Jabba the Hutt crime stuff. Like see him do a little bit more mafia crime.
No, for me, I don't know. I mean, honestly, I'm not that interested in Jabba the Hutt. I only know that he's evil and he's very ruthless.
Yeah.
And that was shown enough in the
in
the whole small interaction. So I think that was good enough.
Okay.
And his death was satisfying too. So.
Oh yeah, his death was pretty gruesome. I wish he was more drooly though. Like like have more drool coming out of him. Like fighting for life. I don't know, just make it more gruesome.
Oh, you mean like the.
Like when he's getting choked out. Yeah.
You're a sick person.
But you're thinking it.
No, I didn't. Like I have zero. Like I'm just glad that he died like that, and then that was done. I didn't care about like focus on drooling and whatever. Ew, I don't know. That's your fetish, but whoa, bro.
No, he's getting choked out. He's like drooling. He's gasping for air. His eyes turn red. You know, that kind of thing.
Yeah, that's why I don't know what your fetish is, but leave it. Don't bring me into it.
What do you mean? That's your fetish. I'm just explaining it to the audience.
Yeah, but now when it's done to like a slime slug or whatever, that's your thing.
What else? Oh, Boba Fett dying like a
Mm.
bitch, which is kind of he didn't do anything in the 5th episode, and he just dies in this one. But but because of his character design, everyone loves him so much, and
He does looks really cool. That's why.
and I'm glad that they are like they brought him back and made a series of him and stuff like that because he's actually a pretty cool character in my opinion.
Wait, there's a series for him only?
Yeah, so I guess it's like a spoiler alert,
Yeah.
but they're making a Disney Plus series called Book of Boba. So
Making? So not yet?
it's coming out at the end of this month, actually.
Oh, interesting.
So the story for that one is since Jabba the Hutt died, there's a power vacuum available, right, for the crime lord, the crime scene, and it's Boba's like rise in the underground scene. Yeah, so he's taking over Jabba the Hutt's throne essentially, and so he's gonna be the new mob boss. Yeah, it's crazy. What else? And then yeah, so I was telling Boshka earlier, like what is it? They were making originally there was supposed to be a scene where Luke was making his own lightsaber in a cave with the and
How is he gonna get the crystal though?
see that's the thing I don't know and I would like to know like because that's part of the Jedi training. It would have been so sick to see like Luke continuing his learning even though he's not training with Yoda at that point. Okay, I thought you were gonna say something, but I guess not.
No, I was just wondering. I see.
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of planets out there that have the kyber crystals.
So why can't people just like excavate that and make like
Because it's easier said than done. It's not like there's like a map where it's like, oh, these are where all the kyber crystals are at, right? You still have
I
to
wouldn't
find
know.
it. It's like finding gold, It's just like you don't really know where exactly it might be.
Yeah, but the Empire kind of like what control half the galaxy or something.
Yeah. So actually, the Empire did excavated a lot of the kyber crystals already to use
But
for the Death Star.
to use it.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So the Death Star actually uses the kyber crystals to fire the laser beam.
I see.
Yeah. So it's not like they don't do it. It's just like
They do. They just like doing it like Warhammer style, or just go bigger.
Yeah, exactly. What else can we talk about? Oh, the Sarlacc pit. That was pretty cool. The monsters, right? So the Sarlacc pit, the Rancor.
The chase scene was really cool too. With the speeder thing.
Oh yeah, and we saw another type of stormtroopers. I think that's a thing in the Star Wars series. There's let's see, space battles, lightsabers, different exploring different planets, a new type of troopers being shown, and monsters. I think
Monsters, eh?
yeah. So there's like we saw Jabba, we saw the Rancor, we saw Sarlacc pit.
You mean creature?
Yeah, I mean they're all monsters in my eyes.
Whoa.
and then we saw the Scout Trooper for the first time. And and you can see they're more sleek and slim compared to like a regular stormtrooper.
Well, yeah, that's for airflow.
Yeah, is it
Aerodynamic?
Is it me or is the suits are a little bit better made this time around? So because they look a little bit more like I don't want to say agile, but it looks like they're able to move a bit more better in these suits. I don't know if they
maybe.
I don't know if they just reused it or did we actually get to see more action with the stormtroopers. I don't know.
I think there's just more action. I don't know.
Yeah, because
But again, another thing that they definitely got like a lot more budget too, because the amount of person in the screen sometimes is like overwhelming. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
like
what
you could see like a lot of people. That's why you could feel the scale of the battle.
Yeah.
Well, before there's only like 1%, 3%, 4% max kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's the That's the one thing I noticed too. Is just like, whoa, there's a lot of people this time around.
Yeah.
Even with the storm, like especially with the stormtroopers, which makes sense.
Yeah, especially super. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, dang, that's like a lot of extras. See, what we could have been part of that crew too, Bosh.
Why can't you do it on your own?
Because it wouldn't make sense to have just one stormtrooper. Stormtrooper is in a group.
You won't be by yourself though.
What do you mean?
There's other people there.
Yeah, you.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I will be taking 2 to 3 weeks break. Are you asking why? This is why.
Okay, and going through the stories.
Characters.
Yeah, Vader. So Vader and Emperor. We got to see the Emperor physically this time around.
Yeah, but the Emperor, he's very smart.
How so?
He's definitely the smart one, the tricky one, the cunning one.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
But I don't know if he's the strong one.
No, he's just like he uses Force lightning.
Yeah.
That's his
He
stick.
just sit in his wheelchair.
His throne, not a wheelchair.
Oh, okay.
So okay, my problem with this one is he doesn't feel very like decrepit. You know, he's like standing up straight and he's like walking normally.
Was he?
Yeah, he kind of just like he's supposed to be like this.
He looks
really
old and miserable.
Yeah,
I
he's
don't
supposed to
know.
be like an old miserable thing, but he kind of just like walking normally.
Does he?
Yeah.
He doesn't even look straight, so I think it's.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's like the mask that they used on him, but it's like his eyeballs are looking like two different directions, which is kind of crazy. It fits his character though.
Yes,
but
the thing is, like, what's at the ending?
What's the ending?
He just got like, you know, like I don't know. What is he supposed to do? Like a power bomb? What was he?
Yeah, he died like a bitch. So Darth Vader was just like, no, stop it. He picks him up and then tosses him over the
the railing, and like, what the? And when he died, like a huge wave of like energy blew up, right? And they hit Vader.
No,
and Vader's dying after.
No, Vader was.
Or was he just shocked?
Was getting Force lightning so much that he like ended up collapsing, I guess, because his robot parts malfunctioned. I don't know, but yeah, it was like
I see.
Like Darth Vader threw the Emperor over the ship, and the ship farted. That's essentially what had happened. It's like, oh, I got gassy. And then Darth Vader removes his helmet, and he revealed like, oh, he's like some scarred Zordon looking guy. And then at the end, when they get the Force Ghost, hey, it's actually Anakin from the prequel series, and not Anakin.
That's the first time we've seen it, right? Or no?
Anakin?
Yeah.
In his human form?
Yeah.
Yes, but originally it was supposed to be the actor who portrayed Darth Vader in this one, so that the Zordon looking guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So not the young one.
No. So then what happened was after the prequel trilogy, then George Lucas went back and was like, okay, I'm gonna redo some of the stuff. So he added more CGI, he added more scenes.
Yeah.
Like that scene in the Jabba the Hutt where that weird.
Well, they were dancing and weird whatever.
Yeah, and that weird singing that was added there. The celebration at the end where they're showing all the fireworks, that was added in there too. That was.
I see.
Yeah, so stuff like that, and then like the Force Ghost where the young Anakin was there. That's also added in there. Yeah, so stuff like that.
I see. So that's why when you were like, "Huh, this is you." Oh, I've never seen this one before. I'm like, "What? What do you mean?"
No, I never watched the original. I would have loved to watch the original, but it doesn't exist anymore. It's like locked away somewhere, and it's never gonna be released ever.
Not even on YouTube.
No, I think on YouTube you can watch the scene comparisons, but you'll never be able to watch the original movie in its like original form.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. This is the director's vision. Like, this is the way he wants the movie.
He wanted to be.
Yeah.
Then
I mean, more power to
the perfect
it, right?
version.
Yeah. Was that?
Yeah, I mean, this is the perfect version, right?
Yes, in his eyes, this is the perfect version. Like, yeah.
Then it has to be it.
Yeah. Han and Leia's storyline kind of didn't change much. It's more or less the same as where it was before.
But it's more pronounced. I guess they're more forward about it. I guess.
Yeah, it's not like
affectionate. I guess that's the word. I don't know.
I don't know. I guess it's more like, how can I say?
How can you say?
I guess it's more like committed relationship. I suppose I don't know how to say it because in the fifth one is you can kind of tell they wanted to be committed to each other, right? And then this
Yeah,
one,
but they haven't been really. This one is already like established, so to speak.
yeah.
It
So
feels like they're not new anymore. Like they've been out for a while. You know what I mean?
yeah, exactly. So it's not like there's not much that much change. You know what I mean? They're just still in love with each other. It's not like they I don't know, like had a kid or something.
We don't know that.
Well, they do later, but it's not like Leia was like, "I'm pregnant, Han," or like that. You know what I mean?
No, not really. But
There's no added new elements in their relationship. The only
I don't know. For me, I think that they're more less because before it's kind of like snark and bark, right?
yeah
They're snappy and snarky, but this one they're more of a like they're more straightforward with each other. Less well, they still kind of witty and stuff with each other, but it's less teasing and whatnot. It's more of a
okay yeah
that's what it
actually
feels
yeah
like to me.
okay that makes sense yeah it's more like encouragements and stuff like that. Yeah, the big one though is Leia and Luke's relationship. It changed, so it went from like a romantic one.
Was it ever romantic?
Yeah, in episode 4 and 5 it was
So
more.
because for me, from my point of view at least, it looks like Luke was interested in Leia,
Yes.
but a couple of times Leia was only like doing stuff to kind of get Han to I don't know attention or just to get him jealous
Yeah.
or agitated. I guess
Yep.
that's what it feels like to me.
Oh yeah,
So
but
if there's
still.
anything, Leia was probably still say the same, and Luke was the one that was like
I mean,
more shocked than anything.
the thing is, there's the love, right? But the love evolved into something else. It evolved into more of a brother or sister relationship.
I suppose.
And you know how in the end Luke was like, "You'll learn how to use the Force too." And I was
Mhm.
wondering if that was George Lucas trying to set up for the next sequels, 7, 8, 9, where Leia and or Luke trains Leia how to use the Force.
7, 8, 9.
Yeah. So obviously that never happened, right? Like George Lucas's idea for 7, 8, 9.
Mhm.
Uh, he was waiting.
Do we know, or
I think there might
was
be
there like some sort of
like a
you know
leaked draft out there somewhere. I'm not sure,
right?
but like yeah, obviously now we know that 7, 8, 9 turned into something completely different, right? But
Right.
back then he was toying with the idea of 7, 8, 9.
Being
I think it was more like Luke turning to the dark side and dealing with
oh
that. I think that would have
okay.
been cool, like him being a Sith Lord or
Wait.
something.
So he does go to the dark side, but what's the trigger this time?
We don't
Do
know.
you ever know?
We don't know. He was just toying with the idea that in 7, 8, 9 Luke would turn to the dark side, right? There's also the extended universe where Luke finds his wife, or not find his wife, like finds a female force sensitive person, and they end up getting married, right? And she has ties to like the emperor and stuff.
I don't know. Okay.
Yeah, so this is like a canon. At that time, it was canon to the story, where
Yeah.
it continues to the story. Right? And then Disney
But
brought out Star Wars, and
Star Wars, yeah.
yeah, and then the extended universe kind of just got deleted.
I see.
Yeah, so all
So, but
that
Luke never do get married, right?
no,
Yeah.
I guess they wanted the Jedi's to be like monks, I suppose.
Or just Luke.
No, because Obi-Wan doesn't really have a proper relationship either.
Okay.
And Yoda doesn't really have a proper relationship, I believe, either. Not that we know of, anyways. And
Right. You just sent a weird image in my head.
and was it Anakin was different because Anakin he was very hot-headed and hot-blooded, which is why he converted to the dark side so easily. He was very
I was half hoping you could be like, and just hot in general. I'm like, yeah, I bet you are. You'd think so.
I mean, yeah, sure, but that's like a obvious thing. I don't need to say it out loud. Everyone was already thinking it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but Anakin is a very emotional creature, which is why he's able to go to the dark side so easily.
Now you're calling a human creature while calling a creature monster. You're gonna get shot.
I mean, if you think about it, we're all monsters.
No, you're a monster.
Yes. and I should, and this is why I can call it anyone a monster, because it takes one to know one.
Sure, monster.
I would have loved to have seen more scenes with Yoda, but then he kind of just said some words of wisdom and then faded.
There's another Skywalker. Cool.
Yeah.
And then Obi-Wan just like, oh yeah, it's your sister. You bro. I don't know. I still don't know. Like, people really like Yoda, and I'm like, I still don't see his appeal anywhere at all.
Episode 5, he was a cool character. Episode 6, not so much.
Which part?
The whole thing, everything about him in episode 5 was cool.
Where?
What do you mean? Him being
He was like a teacher. I don't know. For me, he was like just like first he was kind of like the crazy, you know, drunk master kind of feeling, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
He was like visited to do some shit. Turns out he's like a super badass. I thought that was cool. But then it's like, nope, I'm not training him. And he's like doing weird things and kind of like hiding information and stuff like that. And I'm like, I don't know. Like this guy's getting fishy. And then I'm like, okay, probably in 6 they'll do the training or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Nope. Just saying some cryptic stuff. Then Obi-Wan will clarify the next 30 seconds.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
Okay.
But that's the thing though, right? Yoda told Luke, he's like, hey, you know, you didn't finish your training and this is what happened. And then Luke was like, I'm sorry, I should have stayed. So there is some truth to what Yoda is saying. You know, he might not tell you everything, but you don't need to know everything. You just gotta trust the Force, man. You gotta trust the Force.
The Force maybe, but Yoda himself,
I think you might fall in love with Yoda in the 1, 2, 3.
Maybe. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Because he has more character scenes in 1, 2, 3.
Maybe.
Yeah, we'll see. But I would have loved to have seen more Yoda scenes in 6. You know what's weird though?
Probably.
Is that all 3 of these movies are about 2 hours long, and it didn't really feel.
I don't know. For me, the third one felt a bit long.
I'll tell you why it felt.
Probably because I was really tired.
Yeah, exactly. That's why. I was a little bit sleepy towards the end too. Not because the movie sucked or anything. It's just like we're just tired. We're just sleepy.
Yeah, I'm just really drained from the whole bloody things. And
yeah,
while I was watching this, I probably fell asleep a couple of times. And those times, Alex actually didn't call out to me. I was pretty pissed.
Why? There's nothing happening in those scenes.
I know. When I was like not sleeping, you're like, Bosh, wake up. Bosh, wake up. I'm like, not even asleep. Shut the fuck up. But then when I actually fell asleep, he didn't say anything. I'm like, what? Why isn't he calling me? What the hell?
How do I even know when you're falling asleep? Because I would just say something and then you would respond back to me. I was like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, at that time he didn't say anything at all. So I was like,
I don't know. For the most part, you probably fell asleep during the Ewok scenes. To be honest.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, so it's not that important. Okay,
True.
yeah. So trying to keep this short and sweet.
Brief.
What do you?
I think we've been doing this for an hour already, haven't we?
No, it's like 37 minutes maybe.
Okay.
So overall opinion, summary, score. What y'all think?
It's good. There's a lot more action. There's a lot more character relationship. We see more power of the Jedi. How capable even like a half-cooked Jedi is.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we can tell how big of a power they held. So.
Oh yeah, like you can tell like the beginning, like episode 4 Luke and episode 6 Luke, completely different, right? He started
episode even 5 to 6 is completely different.
Oh yeah.
5 he's like still very very unreliable, but at 6 he's just like full confidence going everywhere. I'm like, whoa.
Oh.
I don't know what happened to you between 5 and 6, but.
Oh, there's also the thing about his costume too. You notice how he's wearing all black? So in 4 and 5 he was wearing like all white usually, right? Or something bright color.
Yeah. Something bright color.
Yeah, so in episode 6, I believe they wanted him to wear a darker color because they wanted to show that like he can be tempted to the dark side, which he almost was in this episode where he was very aggressive.
Multiple times.
Yeah. Like you can see the
almost
rage.
Like one too many times.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There's a lot of his father in him, as they say. So that is why he was wearing black, because you're just like, oh, you know, the dark colors is already associated with evil, like Darth Vader and such, right? So him wearing the dark clothes made it look like he was gonna may or may not turn to the dark side. It gave him an edge to his character, so to speak.
Well, the fact that it was what you call it, the fact that Palpatine was just keep luring him, just keep whispering all this devilish thought, and it's clearly working too. I thought that was really good.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's very I don't want to say emotional, but it's very like emotional for Luke. Like not really emotional for us, but for the characters, it is.
Mm. You could tell that they're really distraught. Like their tempo got really messed up because of those words and those actions. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Like strike me, I'm defenseless. Draw your weapon and strike me down. I'm like, you're not really defenseless. You got that fucking black hunk of a monster by your side there
Oh yeah.
that will like protect you.
That's why
Ish.
that's why Palpatine is able to say all those
Yeah.
things, because he knew Darth Vader was going to do something.
Why though? Should
Because he wants
because
Luke
that's
to
one thing I'm
feel
kind of confused too because even like on episode 5 he said, right,
Yeah.
we'll take down the emperor and then we'll rule the galaxy as a father and son, right?
Yeah.
So you already thought of like killing the emperor, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when Luke sliced at him, wouldn't he just like watch, just like, oh, there you go?
I think because at the end of the day, it's still a master-apprentice relationship.
Because I don't know, in my head, like if he really wished that, and then so Luke kills Palpatine, right?
Yeah.
Now that means he's rage consume him, right?
Yeah.
Now he's the dark side, right?
Well, yes, but here's
Now he's in the dark side, and then now the only thing that was there is Darth Vader and Luke, right? Both in the dark side.
Yeah.
But isn't that like the ultimate?
Right, but you think it's so easy to kill Palpatine with just a slash of a lightsaber like that? I'm pretty sure
He was defenseless. The only thing that protected him was Darth Vader. So
he has the Force. He has the power of the Force with him. He
yeah,
can probably like force push Luke somewhere, or like lightning him, or choke him or something.
Probably, but like Luke also has like the Force with him too, whatever, right?
Yeah, but
and by that time it won't be just Palpatine against Luke, but Vader too, because Vader's trying to kill the Emperor, right? Remember? So now it's 2 against 1. It's like the 2 of the strongest, force-bearing people against the Emperor. So I'm pretty sure. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe because the rage, it wasn't the right time yet. I suppose. I don't know. I really don't know.
Right? My idea makes sense, right?
Yeah. Yeah, but I just can't think of a counter. I'm just saying, maybe it's just not the right time yet. Maybe it's not the right time to kill Palpatine.
Because the Force say so?
Because you still have to convert.
Makes sense.
You still have to convert Luke to the dark side. Like, he's on the edge.
But that's the thing. By killing the Palpatine, it'll complete. They said it, right? By killing Vader or the Palpatine, he'll complete the journey to the dark side, right?
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it was missing something.
Maybe.
It needs to be more hateful, more vengeful, more sadness, and more anger in him. I'm not sure. Yeah, and then the story of redemption is the theme of this one. Family, redemption. Darth Vader was redeemed and was able to become Anakin at the end of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Family, we all got together at the end and celebrated and celebrated with the Ewoks, and then
happily ever after.
And abruptly ended there for whatever reason, but sure.
I mean, what else do you want it to happen?
I don't know. Maybe like a scene where everyone was talking to each other, maybe? Because that whole ending, no one said anything.
But it was a happy ending. It was done. Whatever needs to be done was done. The story was concluded. The Empire is done. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
the Emperor is dead.
It would have been nice to have like a,
we did it, guys! Yay! You want that?
No, like how end of episode 4 where they got medals for their heroics. Maybe
but it's not such a small thing, right? Because that was a medal because it was the resistance, a handful of people that dared to fight the Emperor, right? That's why they could have that whole thing. But this time it's the whole goddamn several galaxies.
Yeah.
We're just jumping in joy, so they're trying to show the whole place being happy, right? I mean, I don't know.
They could have had like a ceremonial thing on a planet where everyone could have gathered and like Jar Jar Binks give them a freaking medal or something. I don't know. But that's just me. I don't know. This is a nitpick that may or not be necessary. Okay, so final score. What's your score, Bosh?
I'll give it a 7 7. Yeah, 7's good. 7, 7.5, 7,
Yeah,
7.5 probably.
I think I'm leaning towards 7.5 as well. Yeah. So, what do you think of the Star Wars series overall? The original trilogy. I mean, 4, 5, 6.
It's it's interesting, but I want more stuff fleshed out, more thing paced better. The choreography of the battle, the natural feeling of like
Well, so
because like during all of these, like all the actors and whatnot felt a bit awkward being it like I don't know trying to because the setting is in like places that are natural, right? Be it like a super highly like high tech futuristic stuff
yeah.
or be it like some really barren and desert like planet or stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Mm.
I don't know if it's just the actor not used to being act in like a certain kind of condition,
Yeah.
but it felt they felt a bit awkward. Felt and I don't know just because it's like an old movie, that's why they couldn't like incorporate a lot of probably new technique or like stuff like that. But
What do you mean by awkward?
I don't know. It just felt like I don't want to say don't belong, but it feels stiff, if
Mm.
that makes sense.
I think it's because mainly because two of the three actors that they use,
Uh-huh.
Leia and Luke, are
Uh-huh.
very very new to the scene of acting.
That's probably why. Because Han Solo is very smooth.
Oh yeah, he's like a natural.
He is super smooth the whole time. Everything he does is very on point. It's very sharp, and it's very like he hits all the what do you call it the cue right.
Yeah.
Like when he says something, when he quip about something, when it feels right. Like that feels natural.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. I guess because like also you have to understand. Yeah, again, it's a product
Mm.
of its time in a way, right? It's
Yeah.
made in the
That's
late
why.
70s,
It is an
early
old movie.
80s.
That's why.
Yeah, this movie is like what 30 years old at this point.
30 years old. Yeah.
40 years old.
20 more years,
Yeah.
and it'll be a public domain.
Yeah, that's what you wanted, right? You wanted to be able to write Star Wars stories.
Public domain, boys.
Um,
Just a bit more. Stay
okay,
alive.
so now after watching this original trilogy, does
Uh-huh.
it get you more interested in wanting to watch more Star Wars, like the
Well,
prequel and
kind of,
sequel
because I'm
stuff?
already like this far, you know what I mean? Like, now I know what it is in the beginning and whatnot, right?
Yeah, I
So
see.
probably figure out what's gonna happen, like exploring. Because for me, now I want to know less about the future and more about the past, you know what I mean? Because in the past, it was said that there was a lot of this, a lot of that, right?
Yeah.
Like a lot of Jedi and a lot of like people in the dark side. There was like it's like just insane. And there was a big war and there's a whatever. I'm more interested in that. I
Mm,
want to see what kind of power, what kind of destruction, what kind of conflict there is, and
yeah,
stuff like that.
like you want to see a peak powered Jedi versus like a peak powered Sith or something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, in this movie, there was not a lot of force usage, if any at
Yeah,
all.
yeah.
They barely used any force powers in this movie.
Barely, yeah.
If yeah, I mean there was still like the mind trick, the
Uh,
force
yeah.
pull, and force lightning.
Force jump.
Yeah, force jump, but there's no like force choking, which Darth Vader used in the last two movies. There's none of
I
that.
think Luke used it.
Yeah, maybe. But that's such a weird thing because that's a dark side power move. Unless they're trying to
Maybe it
imply.
wasn't established that time yet
What do you mean?
that it's a dark side thing.
It is a dark side thing. Are you,
Maybe at that time it wasn't established. That's what I'm saying.
oh, you're saying like anyone can use anything?
Yeah, because he didn't know it was dark yet. You know what I mean? Because I
Mm,
don't think he can tell what's what, right?
I
He knows
get.
that there's a force, but he didn't know what's the light side. He didn't finish his training. What he learned is kind of like
Um,
whatever he could figure out, right?
I think if you are force sensitive, you can kind of have an idea of what is light and what is dark. It's like
I
an
don't know.
eternal
I'm
thing.
I'm not force sensitive, so
I'm not force sensitive either, but it's just like like the feeling when you have to go pee or something. Like I think that's what it is like for force users. They can tell if it's gonna be like a light side or a dark side thing.
so what do you mean by that? If I
Like
need to go to pee, then I have to pee, right?
yeah,
But
but
it's
I
when
mean
with
like the
force, like you
feeling,
don't
like
have to use it. You
no,
know what I
like
mean?
like it's like the feeling that you get when you have to go pee. It's just like, oh, okay, I want to go pee now. Like just because you're feeling it, right? So that's what I'm saying. Like maybe if you're force sensitive, you know which side is light and which side is dark. It's like a feeling that you have because you're connected to the force. Don't forget.
As in, like you might feel it's like number 1 or number 2 kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Why are you doing this? It's like the stupidest. Like out of everything in the world, in the whole galaxy, far, far away, you just have to pick P as the fucking sense.
Well,
really?
what would you say? Like it's like an internal feeling, you know, like when you have a bad feeling about something. Maybe that's
Yeah.
something like that. Except I don't.
That would have been better.
Yeah, but I don't trust it because it's like it's a lie.
Well,
it makes sense.
I find your lack of faith very disturbing.
I can never trust my gut feeling because it's always wrong.
Yeah, well, no wonder you keep. Anywho, thank you for listening.
Yeah, any final words before we close off, Bosh?
See you guys again next time. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. So, just a quick recap. I give it a 7.5. Boshka gives it a 7 to
7.5. 7 to 7.5.
Yeah, and we enjoyed it.
It's a good one.
Yeah, it's a good one, and we recommend you guys watching the original trilogy because it still holds up, in my opinion.
I would say so too. It's well, I don't know about if it's holds up, but you got to remember that it is an old movie.
Yeah, but it's
because especially the things with like what do you call it? Entertainment.
Yeah,
it's almost like one of the things that human polish beyond anything.
Yeah.
So the technique, the skill, the capability of the actors and whatnot.
Yeah.
You can't compare it to like nowadays. You know, like I don't know if it's actor or like the CGI or whatever it is. Don't like just remember what time it was in and the ideal futuristic and whatnot, what it is.
Yeah.
So instead of comparing it, watch it and enjoy it as its own thing. Right. That's the one thing I can say.
Yeah, because like for the CGI, like of course it's gonna look and feel outdated.
Definitely.
But in terms of the stories and the characters and stuff, they're all iconic and it still holds up to this day.
Definitely. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So highly recommend watching it. It's an iconic piece of history too. So there's that.
This is like a historical thing, right?
It is. It very is.
It revolutionized.
Yeah, like when you talk about
sci-fi
Wars,
and stuff.
Yeah, like you talk about Star Wars, everyone knows who's Luke, Leia, Han, and Chewbacca is, and Yoda.
Yeah,
like, those are iconic characters throughout time.
I don't know about the kids nowadays, but
I'm sure they do because we have like a new set of Star Wars.
Right? Oh, that is true.
Yeah, and Star Wars is not gonna go away because they're making TV shows of Star Wars, right? So it's like
true.
Continuous storytelling there. Okay, anyways, close this off, Bosh. Thank you for listening, everyone.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening. This is Boshka.
This is Alex.
And we'll see you again next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.